after Trump tariff. I know it's shocking because then the indexes, the stocks, they dropped huge amount. Not only the US, Hong Kong dropped, Singapore dropped, all right? So to the point is that the reporters kept calling me and I was telling them I have no time because there's so many people calling me to ask me what I think. I thought that this video is going to bring a little bit more insight into whether S&P 500 or the US indexes has found a bottom. I don't want to have guesses, I just want to show you what I've observed. If you go through the last round of decline, that was around 2022 to 2023, it was about a 27% decline with a 1,300 points drop for the S&P 500. By the way, this data set, right, it's on the futures. I'm showing the futures because I wanted to let you know that today price actually rebounded, and yesterday after a huge drop, price rebounded from yesterday for the S&P 500. Let's take a look at the COVID period. So that was the COVID period. It dropped about 36%. Also, in terms of number of points for the S&P 500, it was 1,230. Okay, so let's take a look at right now here, about 21%, and it dropped about 1,300. I needed you to focus on the extent of the decline each time. That means that the COVID period was about 1,002, even though it's 36%. The 2022 period was about 1,003. So that's about similar, okay, in the range of about 1,000 to 1,003, and this time around it's also about 1,003. Even though the percentage is different, the percentage will be different because then the starting basis is different. But in terms of the extent of fall, right, every time I observe that when the S&P 500 drops by about 1,300 points, it will start to rebound. Okay, so that was what happened earlier. For COVID was a one-time event, so I think that from there was a lot of fear, right? So from there, after that, it just went straight up. But 2022 was really more of Fed was hiking rate, so it went through a series of declines. And this time round, this is what's happening here, right? And I think it's an economic problem, not a fear, but then of course, right, that's economic issue here because then Trump is basically having tariffs to everyone. And if you take a look at what's happening inside here, I think that probably we might have a bit of a series of declines or correction. So this could be just a temporary rebound. So that's my guess as far as what I can see here. Has there been any reversal pattern yet? No, because reversal pattern, we really need to either see that price make a higher high versus the previous high, or at least for price to make a higher low and then it breaks above the previous high. So we have not seen that at all yet. In this case, I think that this could be just a short-term rebound from a strong support level. At the same time, not only the 1,300 points of decline, it is also, this location is also near to the previous high. So this was the previous all-time high. So price broke out of the high and right now has retraced to that previous all-time high. So technically, it's a very strong support. If you're looking at short-term trading, then DLCs, which is daily leverage certificates, offer daily long and daily short for you to tap into the price movement of S&P 500. So what's daily long here? Daily long means that if S&P 500 is heading up, then the DLCs, which is the piece of certificate that you bought to represent the price action of S&P 500, would be heading up. Okay, so if let's say the S&P 500 is heading down, then this piece of certificate that you bought would be heading up as well because you bought a daily short. So in other words, right, daily long will gain money if S&P 500 is heading up, and daily short will gain money if S&P 500 is heading down. Okay, so what I have here is the DLCs, and let's say for example, if I click this long contract here, right, under the historical chart, since yesterday we saw a bit of a rebound in S&P 500, so it went from about 45.5 cents to today trading about 77.5 cents. All right, but when the S&P 500 was dropping, then this long contract went from 175 all the way to 47.5 cents. So this is how the DLCs work. So if you are bullish, then you buy a daily long. If you're bearish, you buy a daily short. I hope that you like this video, and if yes, and you do want to get updated views, remember to click the subscribe button or to join my Telegram group, because this is the place where I usually update a lot of Hong Kong, US and Singapore stocks and indexes. Alright, I see you in my next video.